Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Harley. Nice to see you again. Okay, today, as you can see, we're outside. You probably can hear the bugs, maybe. I apologize if any cars drive past because they're really loud, but let's get into today's devotional. So, we're on day 4 of our devotional, How Joyful People Think. So, in Philippians 4:8, it mentions whatever is honorable. So let's focus on that word honorable. The writer or author of this devotional says that we discover a person who is known for thoughtful reflection and well-reasoned, grace-filled responses to life's difficult situations. So I think just reading that or like hearing that kind of just makes you think of somebody who thinks before they act. They think about all the outcomes, all the possibilities, and how they should go about reacting to a certain situation. They also mention that the way this person mentally processes the world around them is marked with steadiness. So as you can see, how they think is not easily changed, or how they approach a situation is not up to, not interpretation, but not swayed, if you will. The writer challenges us to think about whatever is honorable, and they envision a kind of thinking that's solid and not easily changed. This person also does not lash out at whatever comes at them. So the screen door is broken, don't worry about it, but so I know even in my experience, there have been times in my life where I am put in a situation and my first reaction is not something appropriate. It could be anger, it could be sadness, it could just be, instead of approaching the problem at hand in a better way and thinking about it, I just react. And that's essentially what this passage is telling us not to do. It's telling us to think before we act. It's telling us to approach the situation from all points of view and see how it could easily be fixed, managed, etc. So whenever we think of this person who approaches situations like this, we can call them somebody who's non-reactionary. Oh, don't want my phone to fall. Non-reactionary doesn't mean that the person doesn't react. They just take their time in reacting. Does that make sense? So the reaction's not going to be something that's just off the cusp, and it's not going to be something that's just boom, lashing out. It's going to be something that's well thought about and has been approached from all areas before the action is done, if that makes any sense. Essentially, the biggest thing that we can do whenever we're put in these situations is to apply self-control. Self-control is listed in the Bible in Galatians 5 as something that is the fruit of the Spirit. It's also one of the 9 primary traits as a follower of Jesus. It's something that we need to have. To have self-control is one of the most important things, because instead of not reacting appropriately to a situation, you can find the best means of going about it in the most effective manner. The capacity for self-control is something that is instilled in us as followers and people who have a relationship and trust in God. It's something that is instilled in us. It's just something that we have to act upon. It's something that we have to choose to apply in our everyday lives. It's our duty to implement self-control, if you will. One verse that I think is really applicable to this, that came with the devotional, was 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, and says, "For the Spirit that God has given us does not make us timid. Instead, His Spirit fills us with power, love, and self-control." So whenever we look at Philippians 4:8 and you see whatever is honorable, know that as a person who implements self-control in their everyday lives before they approach a situation, before they act on a situation. And that is what we are called to be. That's something that we are called to do all the time, no matter what the situation is. And if you have a relationship with God and you have a trust with God, that applying that self-control every day shouldn't be so difficult and such a hard thing to manage. But this also comes with practice. It comes with having a relationship, as I said, with God, and talking with Him and communicating with Him. And when in doubt, if you're faced with a situation that you realize, hey, take a deep breath, apply some self-control, talk with God, then act, then that is the best thing for you to do. So, thank you guys. I hope you have the most wonderful day, and be safe.